I went without being able to take a shower. They were able to finally get a plumber in to fix it, and so apparently, from what I understand as far as how long it takes to get it fixed, it has something to do with plumbers not wanting to come to service this particular address for this particular company. Um, without giving away any of the specific plumbers' names or companies, on multiple occasions, I have asked the plumbers about the apartment upstairs for me, and they have informed me that they have found roaches, like actually found roaches. I don't know how many, if it's disgusting or whatever. But it's pretty evident that the unit above me either has a severe water issue that's causing roaches in this building, or they are an extremely irresponsible tenant who has zero clue how to use the water appliances, water facilities in the house. So, should this continue to be a problem, the plumbing company that last repaired it said they've already provided an estimate to the building regarding replacing that pipe, because once that pipe is replaced, we shouldn't have to have them continue to keep coming here. They said that the inside of the pipe is so clogged, there's a very little amount of space for stuff to get through it, which is why my bathtub continues to back up. So, the bathtub backing up is a mixture of an irresponsible tenant and a rental company that doesn't want to pay for a major repair. I will always call whenever I see water damage or anything that has the potential to cost the rental company money. I am not afraid of having people enter my apartment. My apartment is not so messy that I don't want people in here. As soon as I see an issue, I will make a phone call to request service. What it feels like is over the last several months since they switched out my water heater, but then they didn't switch it out because they supposedly got the wrong one. So, ever since that time, there has been evidence of roaches, but not necessarily in my apartment. The only time I've ever seen the large bugs in my apartment is directly after the plumbers have come in to perform a maintenance or do something. So that includes like when they change the water heaters, then they forced themselves back in here by breaking my sink faucet. So when they changed the water heater in that same visit, they damaged the kitchen sink faucet. So then they allowed themselves to force their entry again because I had to call a plumber to get the kitchen sink faucet fixed. The kitchen sink faucet, after the single plumber came, and it's different plumbing companies each time because nobody wants to work with this company. So it was a handyman who fixed the sink faucet. He did a great job. The only thing is there's no gasket around the top part of my sink. So whenever I use the sink water, I actually put paper towels there to prevent the water from going down. But whenever I use my sink, because of the missing gasket, if I don't put the paper towels there, the water is gonna go down into the cabinet. So, I was able to prevent the water from creating a problem for roaches there by using paper towels to keep the water from going through where there should be a gasket. The next part was when they had the handyman replace my kitchen sink, he had put a screw in the water line, but he didn't screw it in the water line, if you know what I'm saying. But use of the water, if I had not located that screw immediately, would have caused a puncture in my water line. It would have caused a drip, and then I would have a roach infestation in my kitchen. But because I inspected everything, I'm aware of plumbing. I have a clue about how home repair. I used to watch HGTV like religiously. So because I'm aware of that, I was able to remove the screw that he put in there to puncture the water line. I'm so thankful that he didn't. Um, and there's no leaking water under my sink. So that's one situation averted. So then they have to come back, right? They had to create some other reason to come back. Bathroom overflow, and that allowed them to cut another hole in my ceiling. Um, so the hole's been in my ceiling for quite a few months as they continue and continue and continue to try to infest my apartment with roaches. Like I said, even with all of these holes in my building, all of the access panels that have been loosely fitted back on, um, even with all of these access entry points for roaches, they don't come here because I have lemongrass purchased from Bulk Apothecary, which is pure organic lemongrass. I do believe there is one species of roaches that doesn't give a shit about it, and that's another thing that I find funny. Each and every time when I do find them, it's like a whole different species. These bugs are being purchased and brought in here. It's not even the same kind of roaches that are in the building. Um, that's just my guess. I don't know. Maybe different tenants bring their own roaches from different places, and that's what happens. But as far as my apartment and the condition of it today, I just recently cleaned baseboard to baseboard, wall to wall, without finding any roaches or eggs. The roaches I did find were after the plumbers came into my bathroom to repair the last clog. I did find one large one and a couple little ones. And then the access panel, once I repaired the gaps in the access panels, they don't come in here. They're coming from the apartment above me that has the water leak that they've tried to force into my apartment. So again, diatomaceous earth, lemongrass, pretty much those are the only two things that I need to keep whatever problem that continues to be created above me out of my apartment. Today, I will be replacing the cover back on the access panel because I believe a couple days is enough time to adequately dry out whatever their last mess was in there from the last time we had to have the plumber come. That access panel has been open for like over a week now. There's still no infestation in here. The only two roach eggs I've ever found in here was directly after them coming in. I found two roach eggs, they were removed. I proceeded to remove maybe 30 baby bugs, and I have not seen them. I see every now and then I'll see one little one that's like coming through because he's lost. They don't want to be in here. There's no reason for you to spray my belongings. When I start seeing them in places that they shouldn't be, like places that have no water, that's when I'll worry. I will worry about an infestation then. But for now, as long as I see them in the areas where they have people entering my apartment and fidgeting around, I will never worry about them because without placing blame on the plumbers, because I don't think plumbers want to be the reason they don't want to come here is because they think they're going to get blamed for some of the damage that they may be told to do or some of the shoddy work that they were told not to complete correctly. That's why they don't want to come here. So I'm not going to blame the plumbers. Um, but I will note that roaches only come in here whenever there's a water issue that is created by the apartment above me. So I don't know how many times you're going to have to continue to come back and snake the drain, have people come out here. I don't know how many more videos I'm going to have to post about the water issues in my apartment. But one of the things, should this ever make it into court, that I would request, as far as discovery, is the service records for the entire building to see which units. It appears that the unit above me is a problem unit. Fix it.